Alright guys, Tactical here back again today. Hope you're all enjoying your Friday and looking forward to the weekend. I need a bit of a lie down. It's been a tiring week. Today we're going to talk about some rumours surrounding OpTic Gaming and the Los Angeles Guerrillas. A couple of things have come out over the last couple of days or so being rumours. We actually talked about a few of these things a few days ago. Seems like Pac-Man and MattG and those guys maybe have been watching the videos and taking some ideas from us guys and, myself and you guys in the comment section below who always have great insight as well. I'm just kidding, by the way. I'm sure they don't watch it, but still, it was interesting to hear. We discussed FERO a few days ago. Apparently that is now on the table for OpTic Gaming. In my opinion, it makes sense. We'll go into this in a few minutes time. Like if you guys enjoy it, subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it, and let's hop right into it. So first of all, wanted to talk about some challenges stuff really quickly. So Hastro said quite a while ago now, $25,000 prize pool that is going to be at the Dallas Empire one. Going to be $500 for a team pass though, which is $100 more than the Chicago one was, after we talked about how they kind of changed changed everything up. I think Hastro did a tweet a while ago saying that he was happy to make the prize pool 50k. Clearly that didn't come to fruition, but still 15k above what the minimum requirement is. Still pretty cool to see, even though the ticket price is more expensive. Now this weekend we also have a challenges event going on in Paris. Just wanted to talk about this real quick. So Brezzy has gone over, he's been loaned out to train hard. He's on the bench right now for Paris Legion, and also Nasty has joined the Team War Squad in place of Moose, who left last week. So those are some things to keep your eye on, but right now Paris is in an interesting situation. I think there's some riots going on right now around like the Lyon, Paris kind of area, which isn't an ideal situation. And as COD Game PD says, teams of media arriving in Paris for challenges events, and there's currently a huge riot taking place. Cars and buildings on fire, police are everywhere. Everyone stay safe. So interesting to see for sure. Not an ideal situation by any means, but there is a challenges event on this weekend. If it will be streamed, I mean, come on, if this isn't streamed, it's just outrageous, right? Because there's no other main event tournament going on to even take away from the viewership. So in my opinion, I'd be very surprised if it isn't. We'll just have to see. I cannot confirm or deny at the current time. This was a tweet I talked about a couple of days ago. Sources, top amateur players currently being targeted by multiple COD League teams. And Parasite did this tweet, with teams struggling, it boggles my mind that CDL teams haven't hit up Spart, Mac, FERO, Vivid, Hollow, Dylan Rex, Sib, etc. Oh, and me, of course. I'm sure all these players would sign for minimum contracts for them. Blow me, I messed up my sentence. Would sign for minimum contracts for the remainder of the season just to get a chance to play. Oh, and that Chain guy is crazy. Nice to see Parasite, repping the Singularity boys. Of course, Parasite mostly has exposure to the North American talent, but yeah, Singularity have some fantastic talents over there as well. Now, the rumor has it that this has indeed happened over the last couple of days. We talked in that OpTic Gaming video, like, what is next? You guys had some intriguing thoughts in the comment section below for sure. My consensus and my opinion really was that, look, this team, especially with the substitutes they've got right now, that's not going to work out long term. Like, the solution to the problem isn't bringing in Chino or Gunja if you're gonna, become a championship contending team once again. Some people saying, oh, try and get Octane off Seattle Surge. Think you're going to struggle to do that, maybe due to salary cap situations. But regardless, in my opinion, you needed someone who could legitimately potentially replace a Quavo, Kenny, of course, or a TJ to at least push them to a high level, rather than just players that, were never intended to replace them sitting on the substitute bench. That was my opinion. FERO, I thought, would be a good target given how talented he has experience winning championships for sure. But there's another, plenty of other names who are very talented as well. And this is what CDL Intel Crone over there comes out with a couple of days ago. I'll leave all this linked down below. Los Angeles Guerrillas showing interest in Mac Melts and Vivid the Warrior. Lacefield expected to be benched. Very interesting. We had a situation like this in CSGO where Richard Lewis and Thorin on their podcast By the Numbers said that there was a rumor that, or not said that there was a rumor, sorry. They said that NAF, potentially, if you're going to make a change to the Team Liquid team, if you guys follow CS, they said that, he should be the guy who is dropped off the team. And then a couple of days later, a rumor comes out, NAF expected to be dropped from the team. So it's, I don't know if this is legit, right? This is a rumor for sure, but sometimes things come up in the community, like the Parasite tweet, for example, and then, it gets in someone's head and they project it onto other things and maybe don't check sources probably. Who knows exactly where CDL Intel's getting it from. I know that he does a good job checking out this kind of stuff. I'm just thinking, maybe somebody got it off. It's potential these things happen. To obviously take it with a pinch of salt is what I'm getting at here. But Lacefield expected to be benched. Saints, Blast, Eggs, status unknown. I've heard whispers of them looking at trade train options, nothing solid yet, because I mean, Aches, wasn't scrimming with the team, Blast was scrimming instead, but it's unsure exactly the direction that is going to take. Lacefield expected to be benched, really, really interesting. Now, so this is a tweet that came out from Lacefield. Reminder, if you want to go pro, Killhoy, you'll get signed within minutes. This is a, thanks for Austin for pointing this out to me, but oh my words, this is something that I talked about at the start of the year, already with the franchise system. The fact that there's no incentive if you're an amateur player, just like how Parasite was talking about Chain, there's no incentive really to become the best you can be as a team. You can try and win as a team, or at least play well in tournaments to get near the, near the top end, so people start noticing you. But the main thing is to look good individually. Now, I'm not saying that Chain or any of those guys does that, but as Lacefield is implying here, some of these guys are potentially being replaced by Mac, Melts, Vivid that we're talking about. He reckons they're just Killhoying deliberately, which effectively means sacrificing, you're making the best play in every possible situation just to play in a certain way to get the most kills, have the best KD, look like the best player on your team, even though you're playing in a fashion which doesn't necessarily isn't a winning fashion over the course of the thing. We had a similar situation. I forget, it was Nation of Power, was it? Robbie Beeman at the Pre-League qualifier had like a 1.3. All the rest of his team was negative, and he got picked up into the league by playing a very slow, methodical, effectively basing all his teammates' style. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I'm saying that there's directions you can take to look better, right? Which is what Lacefield's getting at here. Oh, brother, this is not like what you like to see. I should have done it, Joey. I should have done it. What he means there is you're calling out who this is. Trust me when I say it, you really can't win them all. Can't win if you're not playing, says Lacefield, so it doesn't look like very much that he might well be on the bench here. Now, another rumour, of course, that came out in response to this was OpTic Gaming showing interest in ferocities. Is this the way to go? Who knows? That's Inflammable Fire says substitute JCap for FERO. The team could be top 4 if and only if everyone else picks it up and performs like they should. Which, fair enough. Like, JCap is the guy you expect to be performing the least, level on this team. Maybe you switch him up for FERO. It's possible, because FERO has played with Kenny before on the 100 Thieves team and started Black Ops 4 that wasn't so good, but also won a championship on that Team Caliber team at the end of the last season. And, who knows, maybe Enables over there on Seattle Surge on the bench. He wants to come back, relive that Team Caliber magic from that World War II season. Doubt that's going to happen, but something to keep in the back of your minds. So, yeah, anyway, this is the rumour right now. Let's move onwards here. This tweet comes out from Fellow showing the following. Felony, Phil Jackson, who I'm guessing, I really don't know what this refers to, but I'm guessing this is like either Pac-Man or whoever is the analyst in the lobby for the OpTic Gaming team. I imagine is what's going on here, but whatever. Royalty, Quavo, JCap, and FERO, or F3. Now, this turned out to, it would be pretty surprising if Fellow, pretty popular player, just confirmed rumors like this, that FERO was indeed scrimming with, Kenny and JCap and this OpTic Gaming squad right now. So yeah, he leaks this, but then Cronus CDL Intel comes out and says this is bait. FERO is streaming tent under the name FERO, meaning that the F3 name, someone would just change their name to that for, the sake of making it look good. I still stand what I said originally though. Sources tell me OpTic showed interest in FERO. Either the deal didn't happen, he's bench, or it's completely fake news. Now, you can have as many players as you want on the bench, so even though right now they have Chino and Goonja, you could bring FERO on, you could bring some other talented amateur players that aren't in the Pro League right now onto the bench as well, and expand, just like how the Toronto Ultra effectively have 10 players, 5 on the starting lineup, 5 on their bench academy team, exactly, whatever exactly you want to call it. So this is what came out just a couple of hours ago though. So Cesar Skies yesterday says scrimming OGLA, then Chicago, and as Crone says, no change to the OpTic Gaming starting lineup. If we have a look here, Frosty, Skies, Pristini, Morgs, Havoc, JCap, so some of these players. But then we see when we look further down here, we've got Arturo as the coach for the Mutineers for sure. This is the Florida team. But then we don't have any sign of FERO in here. We still have Jacob about, we still have Kenny, we still have TJ, we still have Slasher, and whoever else are missing, Brandon Skywalker, that being Dashy. So yeah, everyone's still in for now. We'll have to see how this progresses going forwards. I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts down on this in the comment section below though. Is this the right move for OpTic Gaming to pursue a guy like FERO? We talked about it as another day as a possibility, but who are you dropping from this team if you are going to make this bench play? They are playing, I believe, of course they are playing at their home Los Angeles event in a couple of weeks time at March 7th through the 8th, I believe that weekend is. So that's something to keep your eyes on. I imagine they're going to keep the same for that because it seems like, of course, they're scrimming with the same squad for now. However, after that, I think they have quite a while off, at least maybe a month or so, to start preparing things and see how they're going to tackle the next game. Seattle Surge have done a similar thing where, like, they played one event in London, or did they were in London? Yeah, they were in London. Didn't work out so well for them for sure. So then they switch things up, they make this change with Enable going out the team, Pana coming in the team, and then they have a month to prepare for that with that squad for the next tournament, which is probably the way to do it. You don't really want to be making changes a couple of weeks out, just in case, you know, magically things click all of a sudden and you have a top 4 finish, and all of a sudden you're getting your, you know, CDL points starting to stack up. And as I talked about, given it's a single elimination bracket, once you get through the groups, you know, top 4, top 2 is very, very close indeed. It can make a pretty big difference over the course of the season. Of course, OpTic right now at last place in the league with a fat 0 points. Not what they were looking for sure, not what a lot of fans were looking for, even though I'm not sure how many fans OpTic really have left due to the whole Chicago stuff. Is this the approach? FERO, very talented player for sure. I think he is, if anything, underrated. He's a controversial figure with, you know, some of the clips that have come out in the past. At the same time, he's a champion. He's done it with multiple different weapons. He's also a great sniper, but, you know, of course, Dashy is kind of known to be doing that as well. And I think even Kenny pulled it out a little bit at times. There's definitely some competition there. But still, FERO has been a very versatile player. I felt that when the Team Caliber squad won that Stage 2 playoffs, as they did, and then they came runner-up in the World Championships, of course, when the Evil Geniuses Aches team ended up winning that. But, you know, is this the approach? I thought he was their best player at that tournament. Kenny got the MVP for the whole of Stage 2, but at the Stage 2 playoffs, Kenny was the best player, or not Kenny, FERO was the best player at the entire event. And, you know, I really do think he deserves a shot. And of course, the, you know, professional teams and organizations are going to have issues with his past, and some of the stuff he said is not necessarily a good PR look. But if you're winning, who really cares, right? And, you know, we have talked about some maybe motivation issues and these kind of things, and attitude issues with that 100 Thieves team at the start of last season. They benched him, or they dropped him. They then became the best team in the game, right? Bringing Priester into the squad. But that's not always the case, right? Dropping FERO isn't always the answer. Maybe it's time for him to get another shot. And then the Los Angeles stuff as well, right? If Lacefield is on the bench for Mac or, you know, Vivid, is that the change? Like, if you're bringing Blazd in for Aches as well, then those other guys in for Lacefield, is that the move? You know, in my opinion, Lacefield's more talented than those guys, but I guess he's a more inconsistent player. But you're bringing a rookie in, you're not really expecting consistency, right? So, interesting changes to me. Doesn't seem like they would have been right at the top of my priority list in terms of amateurs, but maybe those are the ones they were able to get if that indeed does turn out to be reality. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new as always. Just wanted to leave you with this then. Team War confirming that Nasty is in the squad for this weekend. Hopefully we get some good stuff in this Paris tournament this weekend. It's just a challenger stuff. Hopefully we'll actually be able to see some of it, but I'll probably be talking about how the results go in the next couple of days. Like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe if you're new as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.